by the Celtics defense.
Gasol getting to shine on the big stage as we check in with Michelle Tafoya.
Guys, you heard Dr. Rivers say that his team did not close out either quarter, but he did acknowledge to me it hurt them that Paul Pierce was not on the floor. His biggest concern, though, that they're allowing too many uncontested shots, guarding shots with their arms down. Mike, he said that's not like us, and he said the Lakers are getting into their offense before the Celtics can set their defense. Let's see if that changes here early.
Yeah, Michelle, Pierce scoring 3 points in the first half. That's not like them either. He had 3 fouls, played less than 16 minutes, but he scores right away here in the third as Odom misfires. Ray Allen the rebound. As much as Garnett has been the key, Paul Pierce, according to Phil Jackson, is still the heart and soul. Draws the foul, banks it in, and one. Paul Pierce with a chance for a 4-point play.
And here's what you love about it, Mike. Inside-out attack. Gets the ball to Garnett, sets up the defense, and then step back. Gets the contact from Radmanovic. Knocks down the basket. It's late, but the bank is open, and Paul Pierce feeling it early in the third.
Pierce had 3 points in the first half. He has 5 points in the first 45 seconds of the second half.
And that was similar to a play in Detroit, Game 6, where he was called for an offensive foul. Here, the call went his way. 4-point play.
And the crowd back in the game as the Celtics back on top. They led by as many as 7 in the first half. Kobe Bryant knocks down the jumper. So 3 Celtics, or 3 Lakers, that is, in double figures. Bryant now with 10. Radmanovic at 6'10", not a bad defender, but Pierce a little quick for him, and that time Pierce once again knocks it down.
And this is the mentality that Paul Pierce has to have. He has to feel no one in a purple jersey can defend him. Comes out aggressive to start this half.
Has 8 points in a minute 20. Gasol, and he's hacked by Perkins. That's going to be his second.
Oh, we talked about it. I'll take great offense over great defense any day of the week. Paul Pierce able to get to his spot and then elevates. Tremendous lift, avoiding the shot blocking ability of Radmanovic.
And I'll trump that. I'll take great offense off horrible defense, too. And that's what he had going there the last 3 possessions on Radmanovic.
Bryant with a hand in his face. Not that time. Perkins the rebound. Perkins upset. Thought there should have been a foul. Doc Rivers yelling at Dick Pavetta as the Celtics come up the floor. It's been a pretty physical game, but they've let them play for the most part. Garnett gets the roll. Celtics up by 3.
And that's all day, every day in this series. Kevin Garnett has to establish the post position, and they have to seek him with the basketball.
And he has to remain aggressive and be selfish looking for a shot. There's a foul call against the Celtics. This has been one of the topics, Chip, about Garnett. He's such an unselfish, terrific team player, but he has to take control here.
Well, he's a very good player. Sometimes your greatest strength is also your greatest weakness. Here, single covered, he can go to work on any Laker in the post, but he plays a great team game, and he's not the classic go-to player.
Radmanovic left open, the three-pointer. He's got great range. Vladimir Radmanovic, his second field goal.
What we're witnessing, again, is Kobe Bryant facilitating offense for the guys around him. Dribble penetration and finds Radmanovic.
And Radmanovic called for a foul. That's his 4th in just 15 minutes.
Well, in the past, it was taking over games with his offense for himself. Right now, it's about creating offense and allowing the defense to tell him what to do. This time, it's give up the basketball, and he's a willing passer, finding Radmanovic.
So Vujacic will come in for Radmanovic. During the regular season, Kobe Bryant averaged, was Radmanovic upset. Bryant averaging 5.5 assists per game. In the playoffs, it's almost 6. He said his role has changed on this team. He doesn't have to score 35 a game anymore for them to win. Meanwhile, Garnett continues to dominate.
And you can say, well, Kevin Garnett is too unselfish. That's where the other guys on the floor have to say, hey, he has the hot hand. We're going to make him selfish. We're going to give him the basketball. And that's what Pierce did the prior point.
20 points in 23 minutes. Bryant calling for it. Looks up at the shot clock. Pierce guarding him. Kobe Bryant nails it. You get the feeling he's going to shoot a little more now.
And to me, they should keep Ray Allen on Bryant and put Pierce on Vujacic.
Reach and foul as Pierce went to the basket.
Los Angeles fouls on number 24.
Pierce with 3 fouls is not going to foul him. They want Bryant to go to the middle of the floor. That's an impossible shot to defend. If you're going to make fadeaway jump shots at 17 feet, you're going to win the game.
Has a way of stopping the bleeding. When the other team gets it going, he's the guy that you give the ball to and he makes plays.
Pierce knocked it out of bounds. Excellent help defense from Odom. Bryant, an All-NBA first-team defender this year, pokes it away, and it's Laker ball.
And I couldn't disagree with that more. I think Bryant plays sporadic great defense, but there's no way to me that he deserved to be a first-team All-Defender when Shane Battier of the Rockets didn't get it.
Your former player, in full disclosure.
I'm going with Kobe Bryant. You talk about even in this situation, Paul Pierce gets hot. He says, hey, I have him. Shuts him down for a couple minutes, but making him work. One of the better defenders in the league.
Did you watch him? That was a double team. He didn't shut him down. They double teamed because Bryant can't guard Pierce one-on-one in the post by himself.
There's no one in the world, if you ask Paul Pierce, that can defend him one-on-one when he's on his game. What you want is a guy willing to take the challenge of stepping up and making him work.
It's about time. You guys have been agreeing too much lately. Meanwhile, that last foul is on Odom, a loose ball foul, so the Celtics will take it out of bounds. Lakers already with 14 fouls.
I don't like that this guy is sizing me up when he's talking to me.
There was a threatening tone.
Don't all eyeball me, boy. That was a great movie.
Gasol on the steal. Celtics with 10 turnovers. Lakers with only 4. Bryant spinning. Flips it to Gasol. Oh, nice catch. A highly skilled big man, and Pau Gasol with 14 points.
But he's putting the ball on the floor with the idea of making a play for someone else. That time it was Gasol.
Perkins gets it down low, kicks it out to Rondo. Now Ray Allen to the basket. His shot won't go. And Odom able to corral it.
To me, all this disjointed offensive play right now is because Rondo can't shoot the ball with range. So the Lakers feel free to double team and close out short to Rondo.
Gasol can't hit. Rondo the rebound. Rondo shot the ball well so far. He's 4 of 7.
But it's not just the shot attempt. It's what they feel. He can't stretch it to three-point line, so they're going to take the ball out of Garnett's hands, take it out of Pierce's hands with the double team, and live with what Rondo does.
Shot clock at 4. Garnett, the high release. Bank shot won't go. And Gasol the rebound. Gasol said he was re-energized after going from Memphis, one of the worst teams in the NBA, to going to the Lakers. The #1 seed in the West this year. Kobe Bryant knocks it down. Beautiful move. And he's got 16. And down on the floor for the Lakers is Paul Pierce. Eddie Lacerte, their longtime head athletic trainer, quickly out there to check on him. Didn't see, he was in the midst of that crowd, exactly what happened. Grabbing that right leg. He looks in some pain. You see he took a shot from his own teammate Perkins. That right arm swung around and knocked Pierce down. And he's hurting right now. Celtic fans holding their breaths here in Boston. Certainly not the sight the Celtics and their fans want to see. Paul Pierce in a lot of pain, had to be carried off. Then they put him in the wheelchair as he's going back to the locker room. Obviously in a lot of pain, can't walk off on his own power. It appears to be the right leg, and it happened in this play in a collision with Kendrick Perkins. Now watch as Bryant drives to the basket. Perkins comes down, and it looks like Perkins lands on Pierce's leg or his foot. And Pierce's leg appeared to get kind of stuck, and sometimes it can twist there. He also came down with the right arm, but it's definitely the right leg. And everybody here in Boston now holding their breath, hoping that Pierce was shaken up. He lay for a while on the floor and then had to be carried off. Could not put any weight on it. They brought him in the back, put him on the wheelchair. And now obviously being examined. Michelle Tafoya is back there. And as soon as we get an update, we'll pass it along. Garnett, shot won't go. Rebound taken by Vujicic. And you can just feel the crowd, how that took the air out of it. Here's the longtime Celtic. As Kobe Bryant can't hit. The only player left from when Danny Ainge took over. And that looked like in a lot of pain. Rondo to the basket. He draws the foul. Now let's get the first update from Michelle.
By the locker room, that when Paul Pierce did go into the locker room, he asked to stand on his own power. The doctors were trying to discourage him from doing that. They were saying, look, don't do it. But then he said, let me try it. Let me try it. So he did finally put weight on both legs as he walked back into the locker room. They're taking a look at it now. Danny Ainge, the general manager, back there with him. And we'll have more for you when we can. Mike?
All right, Michelle. Pierce, of course, as we mentioned earlier, from Inglewood, grew up as a basketball fan, rooting for the Lakers, hating the Celtics. Waited his whole career to get to the NBA Finals. He has been superb at times here in these playoffs, and you just hope that it's nothing serious and he's going to be able to come back.
I like the mentality of the Celtics bench during that timeout. Eddie Howe, Sam Cassell standing up, encouraging the guys. They have to, don't be discouraged. Find a way to get it done.
And a loose ball foul is going to go, I believe, against Rondo. Or is it Perkins? It's Perkins. Now he has 4 fouls.
And 3 have been in this quarter, and all 3 have been dubious at best.
And now Perkins is limping. So it's quickly turned where the Celtics came out like a house of fire, especially Pierce. And now they're getting banged up here. What a turn of events in just a couple of minutes.
That's where Perkins has to be more selective with his fouls.
Perkins is also going back to the locker room with the 4 fouls. Kobe Bryant on the pull-up. Bryant in and out. Ray Allen the rebound. Allen looking. Drive, strip. And it's still going to be Celtics ball. Here's the foul on Perkins. I don't know where the foul is there.
I don't think that's a foul anyway. If anything, that's Derek Fisher banging into the body of Perkins.
All right, Jeff, as a coach, you see your team, you can get deflated this way. Your captain goes out with looks like a pretty bad injury right now, but we'll wait and see. Now Perkins, it's very easy to get deflated, especially with a young team. Ray Allen open for 3, knocks it down. That's a way to end the deflation.
Exactly. You got to have your other players step forward, and you have to have high energy, mentally strong players, which I think the Celtics have.
Odom drives, and a blocking foul call on P.J. Brown. So Odom will go to the line for 2. Second foul on Brown.
His second personal.
Tremendous out-of-bounds play by the Celtics. Poor defense by Vujicic, allowing separation from Ray Allen and trying to shoot the gap.
And an outstanding screen by P.J. Brown. Recognize that Vujicic trying to cheat the play, puts a body on him and nails.
Maybe a little hip check in there, too.
Hey, this is championship basketball. Find a way to get a guy an open look.
And I expected my prop from you guys. I got Vujicic's name right, even though I almost stumbled mid-sentence.
We didn't want to jinx you. We want to keep it going. We're not satisfied with one time.
You've done 20 Laker games.
And I've had 20 different pronunciations, unfortunately.
We are proud of you.
I'm proud of the fact that you didn't go with Sasha.
Yeah. It's been everything from Fujanic to Vujasic.
This is the sight that the Celtic fans want to see. And hear the ovation as he comes hopping out of the tunnel. P.J. Brown won't go. Rondo nearly tips it in. And Pierce returning with some energy. Fisher on a pull-up. Garnett the rebound, his 8th of the game. All of a sudden, life back in the building. And a foul on Vujicic. trying to fight over a screen. Lakers in the penalty. Pierce ready to check back into the game as we check in with Michelle.
Well, standing back there at the locker room when Paul Pierce came out was a pretty dramatic moment. He was followed out in the hallway by Danny Ainge, the general manager. Ainge told me that it is a sprained knee. You can see that sleeve on Pierce's right knee. He's going to give it a try, guys. Meanwhile, Kendrick Perkins remains in the locker room.
All right, Michelle, Pierce is going to come back in. Pierce has been a very durable player throughout his career, with the exception of last season during that disastrous year when he had a host of injuries, and now this huge ovation as their captain and leading scorer returns. And we get a timeout. Pierce has waited a long time to get to the NBA Finals. He's going to make sure he gets back on the floor. Back in Boston, game one of the NBA Finals. Paul Pierce, 11 points, but back on the floor after injuring his right knee on this play. He went back to the locker room. And, Jeff, I asked you as a coach, what do you do with a team that's deflated when their captain, leading scorer, is hurt and has to be carried off? Well, this is what Doc Rivers said in his huddle right after the injury.
What did the guy from South Africa say about adversity? All right? Nothing can get you down. Okay? This is what we're talking about, adversity. You overcome it. We're the better team. We overcome it. All right? Nothing stops us. That's why we play 12 guys. All right? Let's beat this team.
At that point, they only had 10 guys because Pierce and Perkins were back in the locker room. Pierce has since returned. Perkins was still waiting for him to return.
And I thought that was an outstanding timeout by Phil Jackson. I think he's the best timeout taker in the NBA. When Pierce came back on the floor, the crowd was about to erupt. He diffused the energy with the timeout. He has a great knack for taking the right timeout at the right time.
Kobe Bryant can't get it to go. Pierce the rebound. Ahead to Allen. Allen, quick move. Nice defense from Fisher. And he's always one, as Brian called for a reach. Phil Jackson is always one that has let his team play through difficult stretches, wants to see how he handles it. So he's very particular about his timeouts.
But that's in the regular season. He's one of the quick timeout takers in the playoffs. He adjusts his game as Pierce takes a wrap across the face by Bryant. And that's what I think makes him special. He's got a feel that very few have for momentum and the shift in momentum. I remember a game we were playing against him in Houston in a playoff series. We scored on a play. He took a timeout. We got a stop. We got a lob dunk coming out. He took another timeout, and that's how he changes. In the regular season, he allows you just to play through all that.
Pierce, meanwhile, 1 of 2 from the line. That last foul on Kobe Bryant was his third. So Radmanovich has 4. Bryant with 3, 4 for Perkins on Boston. Pierce also has 3 fouls in addition to the sprained knee. Ray Allen back on Kobe Bryant. Stolen by Pierce. Good help defense from Brown. Allen, bad pass. And Fisher with the steal.
A bad read by Ray Allen. You catch the ball in that position, you have to look to score.
Odom looks to score as Kobe Bryant with his 6th assist of the game.
That's the second numbers advantage break that they've blown in this game. In the first half, it was Posey on a breakaway.
B.J. Brown, the rebound, where they're battling down low. Fisher takes it away. Allen banks it in, and a foul. This has become a very physical game.
And that's how Boston's going to win. Pound the finesse Lakers on the board.
And it starts with the post-up of Kevin Garnett. So you have matchup problems. Everybody's on alert, looking to help, and then you punish them on the offensive board. Active underneath, Fisher staying active, but Ray Allen finally getting the basketball, getting the contact and the hoop.
Odom with his 3rd foul. Allen with 13 points. He also has 6 rebounds. And Ray Allen has 5 assists. A nice complete game. Hasn't shot great so far in the game 1, but he's doing other things.
I like the mentality around. You don't just leave it up to Kevin Garnett and the Perkins of the world to be the rebounders. Little guys have to gang rebound and help the big.
Bryant kicks it out. Vujicic, the three-pointer, way off the mark, but he's fouled by Garnett on a three-point attempt. And Kevin Garnett, his second foul. Let's send it over to Michelle.
Well, there you see Kendrick Perkins now. He'll complete the roster as he comes back out of the locker room. He has a left ankle sprain. All they needed to do back there, Mike, was retape it, and I'm told he is expected to return to action.
All right, Michelle. There's Vujicic at the line. Vujicic, the fiery guard from Slovenia. It's his fourth year in the NBA. He's always showed glimpses, but this year, really a lot of confidence. 8th in the NBA in three-point shooting. We've been playing pro ball since he was 16 back in Slovenia and Italy. As Perkins returns, not quite the ovation that Pierce got, but I suppose nonetheless. It's nice to have you back too.
That's called token applause.
That's called fake hustle applause. Just make them feel good.
Well, Perkins, though, has had some great playoff games, especially Game 5 against Detroit, where for a while he was the best player on the floor. Rondo to Allen. Vujicic on him. Vujicic, a good defender as well. 5 on the shot clock. Allen looking for an opening. Allen kicks it out. Rondo open. Won't go. And Allen knocks it away. Fisher, though, comes up with a good tough play from Fisher. Fisher alley up to Bryant. Beautiful feed as Fisher started it down the other end.
Talk about the job that Derek Fisher has done, chasing down loose balls, making plays, and that time leading the fast break.
Rondo on the drive, and he's fouled outside. And the Lakers have been in the penalty for a while. So they'll go back as Gasol picks up his third.
You give me a proven guy any day of the week. Derek Fisher not waiting for the basketball, goes after it, chases it down, leads the break, waits for the right time, then puts it upstairs to Bryant.
And give the officials credit not calling that late charge on Fisher after he released the pass. Pierce tried to slide under him and get a charge, and a very poor foul down at the other end by Gasol against Rondo. Give him some space, give him a cushion, make him shoot a jump shot versus put him on the line and take an unnecessary foul.
Rondo 1 for 2. With just under 3 minutes remaining. Third quarter of game 1, it's all even. Been close throughout. You see the biggest lead by Boston, 7. The Lakers' largest lead is 5. Fisher looking. Shot clock down to 6. Bryant sees that. Shot clock at 2. Kobe Bryant fires away. It's good. Kobe Bryant drills it. 18 for the NBA's leading playoff scorer. And he's got 10 of them here in the third quarter.
You got the Celtics. That's good defense. What do you do? Just Bryant. Too good on the offensive end.
Round to Rondo. Back to Garnett. Garnett the floater. And Vujicic touched it last. It's going to be Celtic ball. Vujicic trying to plead his case. Very likable, emotional player, Vujicic.
And it took him a while to find his niche. And his niche is hard-nosed defender, wide-open three-point jump shooter.
P.J. Brown gets it back into the point guard's hands as we hit the 2-minute mark here in the third. Garnett, jumper. Gasol, the rebound. Rebounding numbers right now is plus 10 for Boston. Fisher, the experienced point guard against the young Rondo. Odom with 5 on the shot clock. Drives, reverse, blocked by P.J. Brown. Rondo to Pierce. Pierce for 3. Bang! Celtics back up by 1.
Outstanding read by Rondo in transition. That's how you run the point guard spot. Finds Pierce, spotted up.
Pierce playing with a sprained knee. Gasol to the basket. Misses. Garnett right there to reject it. Rondo back to Pierce. Another three. Puts it in. Back-to-back three-pointers for Paul Pierce. This crowd has absolutely erupted here in the third as Pierce just picks up another foul, and that's going to be number 4.
In transition, you see Rondo. Pierce gets to the spot, delivers the basketball on point, knocks down the first one. It doesn't stop there. Fake penetration, finds him again. Good look, good execution, and Pierce rolls.
Again, Phil Jackson said that he's the heart and soul of the team. He's the one that can erupt offensively. Had the 41 points in Game 7 against Cleveland. He's got 15 here in the third quarter. And remember, he spent part of the third quarter in the locker room after being carried off by his teammates.
And it reminds me as a young fellow when I watched the Knicks and Willis Reed come onto the floor out of the locker room. It's not about what you score. You're sending a message to the other guys on your team. There's no quit, nothing but fight. I'm not going to surrender.
And he'll sit down, get a little rest now. Again, 15 of his points here in the third, but he also has 4 fouls as Kobe Bryant hits the first. Bryant now at 20 points, 6 assists. Final minute, third quarter. Rondo against Farmar, and he draws the foul. Rondo got hit in the head. Now he's shaken up. P.J. Brown checks with him. And he'll just head to the line. Remind you, you can text the last name of your choice for the T-Mobile Player of the Game to 38657 from any wireless phone. And go to NBA.com/vote to vote online. Standard rate supply. The winner will be announced at the end of tonight's game.
I like the decision by Doc Rivers also. Was about to get Sam Cassell into the ball game. Rondo makes 2 plays, and then just now penetrating, creating the foul, allow the young fella to finish the quarter on a high.
Rondo knocks it down. 14 points for Rondo. He was a player that Kevin McHale, the GM of Minnesota then, wanted in the Kevin Garnett deal, but Danny Ainge said no, wanted to keep him. Bryant for 3. Won't go. Rebound, tipped and taken by P.J. Brown. Crowd on its feet as we wind down quarter number 3. Shot clock at 7. Shot clock at 2. Rondo kicks it out. Posey has to put it up. Won't go. Gasol the rebound. And that will end the third quarter. And what a roller coaster. Oh, boy, it should put it in from three-quarters court, but it won't count. As Paul Pierce trying to keep that knee loose after spraining it earlier in the third. Getting some congrats from the fans. At a 4-point play. Back-to-back threes. This was early in the third. And then receiving the thunderous ovation as he emerged from the tunnel. Went back on the floor and erupted. 3 quarters complete here in game 1. Paul Pierce and the Celtics up 4.
Back in Boston, the Celtics have a 4-point lead. Coach, you always find ways to work around injuries, but what was your reaction when you saw Paul Pierce reemerge from the locker room?
Well, I was happy, obviously. You know, I was scared when I saw him down on the floor. But I told our guys that's why we work every day with all 12 in practice, and we just got to hold it to the fort until he came back.
Well, he now and Kendrick Perkins, 2 of your starters, each of them have 4 fouls, each of them a little dinged up. How does this influence your fourth quarter rotations?
Well, we have a good bench, you know, and our bench has to come through for us. They've done it all year.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you.
Mike?
All right, Michelle. That bench will start the fourth quarter, at least a number of them, as Pierce tries to keep that sprained knee loose on the bike that's right by the Celtic bench.
And again, if I'm the Celtics, I'm worried, where am I going to score the ball with this team? To me, Kevin Garnett's got to be on the bench a very short time.
Kobe Bryant sometimes makes it look so easy.
And you can tell Phil Jackson going for the home run now, leaving Kobe Bryant in the fourth quarter where he normally rests his star to start the fourth.
All the Lakers stars are going to play up near 40 minutes. Bryant's not going to take a rest.
Allen knocks it down. Ray Allen, the only starter on the floor right now for the Celtics, with Posey, Cole, P.J. Brown, and Cassell, gives the Celtics a 4-point lead.
Allen does an outstanding job of selling that shot, getting Farmer in the air so he has a wide open look.
Bryant to Luke Walton. Walton the floater, short. Walton takes it away, but he's called for a loose ball foul. That will come down the other way.
His second personal first team foul.
Walton, when he was a kid, he had to hear from his dad about how great the Celtics were all the time. And I think his dad, our man Bill, I think he predicted the Lakers, or actually predicted the Celtics would win the series. P.J. Brown, blocked by Turiaf. Poe the rebound, he's fouled. And Poe will go to the line. Of course, this is just game one. Sunday night on ABC. Game 2 right here in Boston. Then it shifts to Los Angeles for games 3 and 4 Tuesday and Thursday. All the games on ABC. Our coverage kicks off 8:30 Eastern. Tip-offs will be shortly after 9. As Poe goes to the line, and we do want to send along our best wishes. In fact, they made an announcement here earlier at the TD Bank North Garden, the Celtics and the NBA, and certainly us here at ABC would like to send out our best wishes to a lifelong devoted Celtics fan who's in a hospital in North Carolina right now, Massachusetts State Senator Ted Kennedy, who's undergoing treatment in his battle with cancer, in the hospital watching the game. And we want to send our best wishes, as the entire crowd did here earlier tonight. 81-75, Celtics by 6. Chance of defense. They've heard that all long. Bryant, tough shot, way short, air ball, but Odom right there to clean it up.
That's good defense by James Posey, forcing Bryant into a tough fadeaway jump shot with the contest.
Sam Cassell had some big shots in the first half, looking to take another, throws it up, bad shot that time, and Farmar able to control it. Cassell hit his first 3 shots, he's missed his next 3. Farmar in the game. Nice pass, Turiaf, and he's hammered by Cassell. So Ronnie Turiaf will shoot 2 as Cassell picks up his first.
We talked about the defense against Kobe Bryant. It's not about stopping him. It's about containing him. Limit the damage that he can do. Posey puts himself in position to force Bryant to a fadeaway, but you got to seal a deal defensively by chasing down the loose rebound.
So Turiaf to the line. Almost 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. Foul trouble. Again, Pierce has 4. Perkins has 4 for Boston. Radmanovich and Odom each with 4 for the Lakers. Nobody else has that many. Turiaf misses the first. Eddie House coaching over the sidelines.
I think it's important to have guys like that. He's into the ball game. He's not sitting over there pouting, realizing this is an opportunity to win the whole thing, and he is an assistant coach for Doc Rivers.
And he's desperate to get in the game.
And he can help him with his shot making. We noticed it at the end of the first half with Farmar, too. Having only played 3 minutes, he came out to congratulate Fisher on a great first half. It's great to see camaraderie, a championship caliber team.
Allen tied up, and Garnett has to go back. Able to save it to Brown, so it wasn't a backcourt violation. Cassell a jumper, pucks it in. Big play by Kevin Garnett. If his feet would have touched the backcourt, it would have been a violation. Bryant on the drive. Pass deflected. Garnett and Allen converging there. Allen, Cassell, that's a 3. And Turiaf the rebound. Still plenty of time left here in the fourth. Posey. Guarding Bryant. A very good defender is Posey, and then a bad pass from Farmar. It's only the 7th Laker turnover.
Smart play by Ray Allen, pulling the ball out and getting it on the block to Garnett.
Double team, so he kicks it out. Posey, an open three. It's good. Largest lead of the game by either team, and the Lakers need timeout.
Tell you what, you want to win a championship, find a way to get it done. Kevin Garnett not quitting on a play. Hustle, gets the ball, keeps it alive, and then P.J. Brown, the ball movement. Sam Cassell knocking down the jump shot. And how about inside-outside attack? Finding Posey all by himself. Gotcha. The Celtics having a good time and up 8.
8:42 remaining. Game 1 of the NBA Finals here from Boston. Celtics with the largest lead of the game. Our Gatorade Cooler Talk is around Paul Pierce and what he did here in the second half.
Well, really did a good job after hurting that knee, went in the back. Everybody upset here, wondering what's going on. Did we lose one of our big three? But give Paul Pierce credit. Looked like Muhammad Ali coming out of the locker room. Crowd going crazy, jumping around. Impact immediately. Came out, knocked down the jumper. Didn't stop there. Back-to-back threes. Gave his team life. And now the Celtics believe.
He had 15 points in that third quarter. And some of it was spent in the locker room. And you see since Pierce went down, the Celtics have played inspired basketball.
And to me, this is very interesting. Very rarely do the Lakers play big with two bigs in there. With Turiaf now and Gasol, makes them easier to guard if you're the Celtics.
P.J. Brown comes up with a loose ball. Kobe Bryant right now on the bench. Gasol, shot won't go. Garnett comes in. Walton tries to save it. And it's going to be Laker ball.
And that's back-to-back bad shots by Sam Cassell, especially when you have Kevin Garnett on the block, which will create offense for everybody else. You have to play through him. This is a crucial time for the Celtics with Kobe Bryant on the bench.
Crowd just looked at the replay, and they thought it should have gone the other way. Gasol to Turiaf, the jump shot. Ball tipped and taken by Ray Allen, who has 7 rebounds in the game. Posey, good ball movement. Garnett, a good open look, but way short. It's the bottom of the rim.
That's the same shot that Cassell just missed, but that's off a ball movement. So Doc Rivers is thinking, I can live with that type of offense.
Fisher, two-pointer. Eric Fisher, another big shot. And he's had a strong game with 15.
But that's a poor decision by Cassell to go under, and an interesting decision by Phil Jackson, putting Kobe Bryant on the bench when they went down 8.
And a foul away from the ball. This is going to go against the Lakers. Not the penalty yet as Turiaf picks up his third.
Well, Fisher's gotten off, and he is a jump shooter. For Cassell to go that far under is just very poor recognition of who you're guarding. You're guarding a knockdown shooter in Fisher.
And Doc Rivers calls Cassell over and say, get the ball to Kevin Garnett on the block.
Garnett with 4 on the shot clock against Turiaf. He's doubled, kicks it out. Cassell now a 24-second violation.
Well, 2 things. Bad recognition because you get him the basketball on the block with the clock dwindling down. And then if you're Sam Cassell, once you catch it, you have to have clock recognition. Is not aware of the clock dwindling down and gets a 24-second violation.
It's been a game with 13 lead changes, 12 ties. Each have had the lead for stretches. But it's been close throughout. Vujacic knocks down a 2. He has become such a confident shooter in his 4th year in the league.
And the problem if you're the Celtics, this is a game that you should have grabbed when Kobe Bryant went to the sideline. Now, this bench has given him an opportunity to come back and close.
Garnett comes up short. And Gasol with a rebound. Vujicic. Walton to Turiaf. Vujicic looking, shot clock down to 6. Turiaf looks up, sees it at the opposite end, makes his drive on a pull-up jumper. Won't go. Gasol with a rebound. Bounce pass to Turiaf, lost it. Well, they've got a new 24 as we're at the midway point here of the fourth quarter. Quick move inside from Walton. Turiaf back to Vujicic. Little fake. Pass deflected. Gets to Gasol. Knocked out of his hands. And it's still Laker ball with 2 left on the 24. And we'll have a timeout. Pierce sitting right now, but he had the big third quarter. Kobe Bryant sitting right now, but he'll be ready to check back in. 5:48 remaining in the fourth. Laker ball when we come back.
There are heroes. There are superheroes. And then there's Hancock.
Here at the New Garden, fans on their feet, watching an NBA Finals game in person for the first time in 21 years as our Verizon Wireless game track leads the Celtics up by 4. Kobe Bryant has been solid. He also has 6 assists. Paul Pierce spraining his knee early in the third quarter, carried off, comes back, erupts late in the third, as Boston now getting on track from three-point range. 2 on the shot clock. Bryant has to put it up. Short, and Rondo the rebound. 5 boards for Rondo.
And I think it's important to run late in playoff games. Half-court offense is very difficult to execute against good defensive teams late.
Shot clock down to 7. Pierce back in the game, shoots over Fisher, knocks it down. 20 for Pierce.
Here's what I love about that. You cannot allow to close out a ball game. Vujicic or Fisher to defend Paul Pierce. The ball has to find him. It did, and he punished the small defense.
Ray Allen is on Kobe Bryant. Garnett's on Gasol. Kicks it out. Vujicic for 3. In and out. That one halfway down, but Gasol the offensive rebound.
And there's no need to help on Pau Gasol against Kevin Garnett.
Wide open shot for Gasol. That one won't go. Good looks for the Lakers. Well, they can't put it down. 6-point game with just over 4.5 to play. Garnett's missed his last 7 shots. Oh, dangerous pass. Rondo jumper. P.J. Brown, offensive rebound and foul. Brown again with a play. They're going to call it on the floor, and it's only the 14th foul, so the Celtics will take it out of bounds.
See, initially on the last possession, it was Vujicic defending Pierce. He dodged to the hoop, and then Fisher switched on him. If you're Paul Pierce, your eyes have to light up. Too big, too much airspace. Use the lift and the length. Nothing but net.
Now, Scott Foster signaled it was on the floor, no shot. Dick Bavetta said it's a 2-shot foul. So those two will now talk. Bavetta, the veteran official, who's in his 26th NBA Finals game. It's Foster's very first Finals game. Good battle with those two. Brown pushing a bit. That was in the act of shooting.
They called it earlier, though. Scott Foster came in late and called it on the floor. And Scott Foster's a heck of an official, and it's good that he's in a finals game.
It's a big honor, his first finals game. Garnett on the jump shot. Fisher the rebound. Garnett, after he couldn't miss for a long stretch now, has missed his last 8 from the field. Rondo a little shaken up.
And to me right now, Garnett with his jump shot struggling has to go at Pau Gasol and go and try to beat him off the dribble and get to the rim like he did in the first half.
coming up on 4 minutes remaining. Bryant on the drive, hard to the basket. Excellent help defense from P.J. Brown. Allen dribbles it off his foot. Doc Rivers just shaking his head. Fisher calling out to play. Vujacic. And Pierce the rebound. A loose ball foul call against the Lakers. Now they're in the penalty. And Pierce will go to the line as Odom picks up his 5th. He's saying, I got scratched.
And what we're witnessing is the intangibles which makes the Celtics so successful. Talking about rotating defensively, P.J. Brown helping, and then the little things, boxing out the bigger Lamar Odom, who's an outstanding rebounder, but you keep a body on him and force him to go over your back.
And you see Odom grabbing the jersey and the scratch, so Pierce will go to the line. Pierce has played his entire career here in Boston, and even he thought maybe this summer he was done with the Celtics, thought he might be traded. In fact, during the summer, playing pickup games in L.A. with Kobe Bryant, the two of them joked about who would be traded first. They both thought that they were going to go to another team. They're both very happy that it never happened, as you see the scratch there.
That's great camera work.
Yes, it is.
I can't believe you're trying to get brownie points with the camera crew.
Pierce hits it again. This equals the largest lead of the game, 90-82 with just over 3.5 remaining. Chance of defense for the best defensive team in the NBA. Bryant looking. Excellent defense from Pierce. Bryant short. P.J. Brown, another big play.
I love what P.J. Brown has brought to this game. Length to protect the basket, good rotation, good rebound.
Pierce back up top to Garnett. Garnett, back shot way off the mark. Here comes Vujacic. And good transition defense by the Celtics. Odom now drives inside. Blocking foul called on P.J. Brown. And count the basket. It'll be a chance for a three-point play. And we'll take a timeout.
Talk about Vujacic in transition, finds Lamar Odom, ability to put the ball on, avoids the charging foul of P.J. Brown, gets the basket, and going to the line for the possible three-point play to close the gap.
Fourth quarter, game one of the NBA Finals from Boston. A 6-point Celtic lead. It's 90-84, just under 3 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. I don't know why either one of you guys have any interest in coaching either now or in the future. Got to drive you crazy. They had a chance to go up 10, miss a shot. All of a sudden, it could be a 5-point game.
With the best closer in the game, Kobe Bryant. So Garnett's bank shot, if it goes in, most likely makes Phil Jackson take time out. Up 10, 3 and change. You're in good position now. Only up 5.
Odom now with 14. Plenty of time remaining. Both teams with multiple timeouts left. Lakers already in the penalty. Celtics have a foul to give. P.J. Brown in there playing big-time minutes here in the NBA Finals. His first Finals game. Allen, good defense from Vujacic. Allen forces it up. And they call a foul on Vujacic. And he only slightly reacted, which tells me he committed the foul. It was only a mild protest.
Well, a bad offensive trip for the Celtics. Once again, the clock dwindling down, but give Ray Allen credit. Recognizes that the clock is going down, puts pressure on Vujacic. Because he's a jump shooter, sells the shot fake, gets the contact. This is the first foul shot, but you have to knock down foul shots and you have to execute to win ball games when you're talking about the finals.
Allen, 93% free throw shooting in the playoffs, one of the best in the history of the game. Misses one there, and it's still 5. 1 for 2. Kobe Bryant just 2 points here in the fourth quarter. Gasol. Bryant stolen by Rondo, but he lost it. Back to Odom. Bryant maneuvering. Kicks it out. Vujicic. Fight for the rebound. P.J. Brown again. What a performance from the 38-year-old, much like he did Game 7 against Cleveland when he came up big. Pierce has deflected. Under 2 minutes to play. Bryant drives right at Allen. Back to Gasol. Blocked, but a foul. And Gasol will shoot 2 as Kevin Garnett picks up his third.
Number 5, Kevin Garnett, his third personal team foul.
So 2 free throws for Gasol, who from the line in the playoffs is 71%. Gasol's played in so many big games in his international career on the national team with Spain. They won a world championship. These are certainly the biggest games of his NBA career as he misses the first free throw. Played in the playoffs 3 years with Memphis. They were always the underdog. They got swept each of the 3 years. Now he might be one of the pieces to a championship puzzle as he goes 1 for 2. Looking to trap Rondo. And Fisher with the bump. And Rondo's going to go to the line. Fisher is second.
I really like the way that Rondo has played tonight. I thought the doctor was stuck with Sam Cassell a little too long. Rondo has played with confidence. Sure, he's made mistakes, but he has been the best point guard for the Celtics, getting them in stuff and playing aggressive offensively.
And Rondo is battling one of the most experienced point guards in terms of NBA Finals in Fisher. And it's a clutch free throw. You look at his numbers. 15 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, and just a couple of turnovers. He has been very solid at home during the playoffs, sometimes exceptional. He's struggled a bit on the road like a lot of young players do in their first real playoff series.
What I like about it, he's a young player that may struggle as P.J. Brown exits the ball game. The crowd gives him a well-deserved ovation.
His numbers won't blow you away. 2 points, 6 boards, block shot, couple of assists. But he had a huge impact as the ball deflected, and last touch by Radmanovic. Garnett kept it alive.
And if people are wondering, why is P.J. Brown coming out? It's because Phil Jackson inserted Radmanovic at the 4, so the Celtics matched up with a small lineup, and there it hurt him on the free throw rebound.
Six-point lead, 1:45 remaining. Rondo calls out a play.
And I like this pick and roll with Rondo. Loves to get to his right hand.
Rondo on the drive, kicks it back out. Posey for 3. Back of the rim. Garnett on the slam, followed. 8-point lead for the Celtics.
But because of the penetration by Rondo, the defense collapse allows second shot opportunity, and KG with the big putback.
Kobe Bryant looking for an opening. Posey bumps him. Bryant will try it again. And Posey a reach-in foul. He didn't hear the whistle. It's tough to with this crowd. As Posey picks up his third, now the Celtics in the penalty.
Doc Rivers, you want good offense. Rondo high pick and roll. Dribble penetration finds Posey. That's a good look for KG. High percentage putback. That's a big-time finish over Gasol. Getting my poster. I'm the big ticket.
The big ticket had missed 9 shots in a row, but kept a key possession alive to give him a new 24 on a tip-off a rebound. This makes all the hustle plays. One of the most intense players you'll see in any sport. There's another one. There's Bryant. Able to hit the free throw. Bryant now with 4 points in the fourth, 24 for the game. Still plenty of time left for the Lakers. Garnett. Garnett calling for the ball against Radmanovic. Here comes a double team. Right back to Garnett. Shot clock at 7. Garnett spinning, makes his move. Knocked away, but a reach-in foul. And Garnett will go to the line.
Tremendous offensive execution by the Celtics to repost Garnett. Garnett gave it up. Pierce sensed the mismatch against Radmanovic, went right back to Garnett. Very few teams double team a second time. Garnett got a lot of room to go one-on-one and get fouled.
And even the patience early. Posey turning down a wide open look, pulls it out, gets a good offensive trip. Patience pays off.
Big free throw here. Garnett makes it a 7-point game. He's got 23 and 12 tonight. 12 rebounds, 3 assists, his usual strong defense. Two big free throws there, and Phil Jackson will call a 20-second timeout. Kevin Garnett playing in his first ever NBA Finals. What a year it's been for Garnett and the Celtics. Now with a chance to take game one. They lead 8 with a minute to play. Paul Pierce still checking that right knee that he sprained early in the third. Certainly hasn't hampered his play. And the big three, so impressive all year, not just with their play, but their sacrifice. Doing some good things tonight here in their first NBA Finals game. All right, Mark, if you're the Lakers, 1-on-1 to play, there's still time. What's the strategy?
Well, still plenty of time. You want to get the ball into Bryant's hands and trust that he'll make the right play and then get stops on the other end.
Misses the three. Garnett comes high in and snatches the rebound. His 13th board of the game. Now, do they need to start fouling here?
Here's the Celtics. You run this all the way down. You do not shoot early. You have to be fouling, but now it's too late.
It's a 3-possession game. Too much time going off the clock. Shot clock at 4. Garnett puts up the shot. Won't go. Radmanovic the rebound. Lakers have to push down by 8. Fisher, an open 3. In and out. Allen the rebound. Allen dribbling. Still the Lakers not fouling, and finally a foul with 16.6 remaining. Why do they wait so long?
Well, bad decision by the Lakers. Having an opportunity to foul on the previous possession, they do not. They allow the Celtics to eat precious clock time, and then that time waiting until Allen rebounds, pushes the ball up the floor. It is too little, too late. You got to be smarter if you're the Lakers.
And the Celtics on the verge of taking game one. Allen back to the line. And this is the largest lead of the game with 16.6 remaining. And what a turnaround for the Celtics. Third quarter, they were down 5. Lakers playing well. Paul Pierce, their captain, spraining his knee, carried off to the locker room. Crowd was quiet. It looked a little bleak. But Pierce returned. The Celtics played inspired ball. And now they're ready to take game one. 16.6 seconds remaining. Celtics a 10-point lead. 16.6 seconds remaining. Celtics ready to celebrate after winning game one. They want game two Sunday night back here in Boston. All the games on ABC, 8:30 start. Tuesday and Thursday, the series shifts to the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, Paul Pierce is tonight's T-Mobile Player of the Game. A big third quarter, 15 in the third. Ball knocked out of bounds. Of course, now with Pierce, a question would be that sprained knee. How serious? Is he playing a little bit on adrenaline now? How is he going to react after a night?
But that's where the 2 days off coming between game 1 and 2 is helpful for anyone that's a little bit nicked up.
And Lakers just can't hit shots here in the fourth quarter. Missed another one. 5 of 20 in the fourth quarter. And the Celtic defense tremendous down the stretch. Celtics take game one. Kobe Bryant, 9 for 26 from the field.